my island in the sun. Oh, my island home, my island home. Let me tell you about where I'm from, my island in the sun. Oh.
First of all, we are okay. Nothing traumatic happened to us. But apparently where we went was not particularly the best place for people that look like us to go touring around alone.
And I have to learn to ditch the automatic reaction to jump in, get involved, and end the problem.
I know. Good in some instances, but like when we were in Las Vegas a couple years ago and you broke up a fight between two people, one could have had a knife or a gun.
Yes, as Canadians, we don't really think about people carrying weapons. Have to let that sink in a little bit further. But without further ado, this is our adventure. Now you get to see how it went down.
Yeah.
But first, let's go to the meat. That's it, okay. Well, I wouldn't discourage you not to go. It's beautiful up there. I like the girls. And especially how many of them like sex. I love this. But they sometimes are not people that you can trust a lot. They can be very dangerous, even to the point of killing you. So I will advise you, be very cautious and careful whenever you go there. Good.
Turtle guy. Yeah. That's a medium turtle guy. Good morning, everybody. This is one of those early mornings where we get up because we got a mission. What's our mission?
Our mission is to take the ferry over to Kingstown, St. Vincent.
Kingstown. Guess I should have known that at some point. See you on the ferry. Gotta like this. We pay for the tickets on the ferry.
The ferries from Beckway to Kingstown take about 1 hour, operate daily at kept scheduled times, costs about $20 per person depending on age, and is family owned by residents of Beckway. Kingstown is the capital of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, located on the southwestern coast of the island. Known as the City of Arches for its 19th century stone buildings and colonial era architecture, which now serve to cover the markets and shops.
Prior to European arrival, the island was inhabited by the indigenous Carib people,
Now Kalinago people.
but then were overtaken by the French in the mid-1700s. Under the Treaty of Paris in 1763, Britain took formal control of St. Vincent, including Kingstown, and began to develop it as a colonial capital, with sugar and bananas serving as its main exports.
Welcome to St. Vincent. Oh, chickens.
Oh, there's chickens! Of course you'd find chickens. Oh, Francoise, you'd be in your element, seeing all this fresh fruits and vegetables.
And the market was amazingly huge, about the size of a hockey rink,
Arena football for our American viewers.
and was chock-a-block full of fresh produce. Literally more than anywhere else we have found.
So while it might be a little early in the morning for a Haroon or Carib, we at least had a slushie from the slushie lab.
Exactly. Fruit punch and lemonade combo. Yummy.
This will do us for a morning drink.
Exactly.
Good day. People selling tuna right out of an ice box. I thought that was pretty unique. This place reminds me of Soweto.
You've never been to Soweto.
I've never been to the moon either, but I've seen it. Got you there. I'll let you meditate upon that one.
You need professional help.
Gives everybody an opportunity to set up a little business. And every 20 feet is another little bar selling 3 for 10 for the Haroon beers. It's amazing that they all can survive, because truly, they're just everywhere. Having a number of friends who work at the courthouse and judicial system back home, felt like we had to take some video for them.
Who would have guessed what we would have missed out on if we didn't go in?
Don't be jealous. I'll be heading to
The courtrooms themselves looked very much like any British Commonwealth court. A bit opulent, a bit intimidating. This is a list of people intending to marry, by name, occupation, and marital status. I do so love the word spinster.
I'm sure you do. Anyway, as we were about to leave, the clerk actually invited us in for a behind-the-scenes tour.
I hope you have a good day.
Then how they keep their official records. Pen and paper.
That will survive computer
Yes.
hack attack.
How you do back there?
Holy crow.
This is 790-81. Don't pick on my face.
Yeah.
It's a Charles Walford tour. This one is Kidda.
These people,
Yeah.
This one is Kidda. I said, how you all own the company?
Everything's on computer for the past 30, 40 years.
But before that, what they had paper?
Before, with paper. Yeah.
And they're well kept.
Very much. They've all been scanned and destroyed the paper now.
See this mark? Forget about this mark is not valid.
No?
Original mark for the government. Original stuff, you know it?
Yes.
You tell them the time, how much pages, and the deed number. Yeah.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
That's incredible amount of paperwork.
Yeah.
Thank you again very much. I'm not saying that it's Christmas, but just found a 20 amp male plug-in that we're going to try to make our own power extension port for our generator to the main house shore power. And we found it in St. Vincent after trying a whole bunch of other places.
So after walking around for about 45 minutes trying to find a restaurant for lunch,
As every place on our map app was out of business.
we asked someone and they suggested a quiet piano jazz bar.
Nailed it. Here in St. Vincent with Rory from Beckway, whose son operates one of the boats that brings water, diesel, ice, that type of stuff around. What a great restaurant it is, and what an awesome human being you are. Great conversationalist. Anything you need to say about Beckway to encourage people to come there?
Oh, Beckway is a very special place. That's the whole idea about coming to Beckway. Once you get to Beckway, you're very welcome and very relaxed.
They are just as friendly there as you can imagine. Yep. Thanks again. So the directions were left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. As I recall.
Rory gave us great instructions to avoid walking through the bad part of town and suggested perhaps we take a car.
We didn't. I suggested that the walk would do us good.
I think you said save us money. Quel surprise.
But we made it to our destination without a shiv in my neck, so that was a plus.
The tourism board is going to love you. The St. Vincent Botanical Gardens are located just outside Kingstown and one of the oldest botanical gardens in the Western Hemisphere.
Established in 1765 by British General Robert Melville, the 20 acres of gardens were part of an imperial effort to support agriculture on the colonies by experimenting with indigenous tropical plants.
One of the garden's most famous contributions to history was the introduction of the breadfruit tree.
It was in 1793 Captain William Bligh
Of Mutiny on the Bounty fame,
successfully brought breadfruit saplings from Tahiti, which were then planted in the St. Vincent Gardens and served as a cheap food source. It's still very popular today, used very much like potatoes. In Latin, the name of this one is called a Treefaldownus.
the gardens serve a scientific purpose with a wide variety of tropical plants, including medicinal herbs, spices, and exotic ornamentals. Who knows what may cure the next disease?
They even hold weddings and conventions here. There was one bris, but it was cut short. Very pretty.
This is beautiful. Good job.
St. Vincent parrot is endemic to the Caribbean island of St. Vincent.
Meaning found nowhere else in the world.
It is strikingly colorful, featuring a blend of green, yellow, blue, and purple plumage, measuring about 40 centimeters
16 inches.
in length. Recently, the species has been classified as vulnerable by the IUCN.
Vulnerable, like me on a warm summer's night under a silvery moon.
Wow. You talk like you're opening up, but I know it is more like a soft launch for a motive. Gotcha there. I'll let you meditate upon that one.
Anyway, having such a chill time at the garden, kind of forgot to avoid the sketchy part of town, and walked right into it.
There's a school here. What could go wrong? Right?
And she's giving away free hugs too. And literally after this clip, we cut across the street, and a mother and a father with their little daughter hurried past us with a concerned look on their face, as a man about my height, weight, and half my age was behind them, coming my direction and saying, If you don't give me some money, I'll slit all your throats. Doing what comes naturally, and instead of thinking where I was, I stopped, looked him square in the eye and said nothing as he stared back. The family rushed away. The man said something I did not understand, turned and walked away slowly. I was lucky, again, as I was before. End of story. But I am curious. Write in the comments below what other choice you think I had at that time.
So, if 25% of your prisoners are in there for murder, and you are not counting manslaughter, you're not counting all of the other violent related crimes, it speaks to the moral decay that I'm talking about.
So that was a very, very long walk up the hill to the Botanical Gardens and back. Slushy time. 2 in one day. Who would have thought?
We did not feel like hanging around.
For some inexplicable reason.
We decided to take an early ferry back and put this adventure in the books, and now let you know our thoughts.
So back to Monashee for a cold one. 9.7 kilometers. 6 miles or so. Half of which were uphill. That was a long walk.
Oh, so good.
Oh, so good.
Feel the burn.
Yes. Oh, I feel the burn. My knees. Bump my feet. How we missed this area on our first ride to St. Vincent is beyond me. This air conditioning is awesome.
I know I see the devil in the politician eyes. Now I feel the burden on my shoulder.
So, would we go back to St. Vincent again?
Yes, to the western anchorages, and possibly to the main part of the island as well. There's still an old fortress to see, and maybe a couple other places.
But this time I'd really take the advice given and hire a taxi to take us to spots so we're not in any peril. It is not just me I have to think about.
Know your limits, play within it. You aren't 27 anymore.
But my mom still thinks I'm cute.
Oh boy.
There's a full horizon.
Thanks for sharing our journey and subscribing. And check out this next video, as we believe Jean-Claude Van Damme would like it too.
I'm looking for the answers.